Don't shout at me, mate. Don't shout at me, mate. You shout at me, so I shout back. Right, now try not to be foolish.
Right. Welcome back to The Social. Myself, Adi Oladipo, broadcaster Rory Jennings. All right, let's talk a bit of transfers. Again, quiet window, which could get a lot busier in the next couple of days. One of the big transfer rumours we are hearing is about Luis Diaz, currently playing for Porto, plays internationally for Colombia. Now, it looked like it was all set for Tottenham to get him. For those of you who don't know too much about him, left-sided player, very tricky. Think of Rafinha for Leeds, but on the other side. That's Luis Diaz.
Either side as well, which is good for Liverpool, isn't it? It's options. And options for a manager is what it's all about. That's a dream scenario for Klopp.
100%. You're right, 100% there. Scores a lot of goals as well. You think his last 3 seasons at Porto, 14 goals, 11 goals, 16 goals. It's not shabby, is it?
So 16 in 28 games this season. 16 in 28 is heavy, isn't it? When it's
heavy.
When it's not your primary objective either. Like, he isn't a goal scorer.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's coming in with that sort of, that's better than a goal a game. A goal every other game, sorry.
Are you surprised that he's linked to Liverpool? Or that Liverpool, it looks like Liverpool is saying they're going to send out a representative to South America right now to get this deal done. It's going to happen. They're going to try and get it done. There was some talk about him earlier in the season. It died down because of a fee. Now it looks like Porto have brought their fee down a bit because they were initially looking at around 50 million. Liverpool's like, no, we're not going to go past 38. It looks like it's come down a bit. Liverpool are going to get him.
I think it's looking that way. I think it's slightly complex because he's currently in South America.
Yeah.
I think he's got a game tonight against Peru. So it's difficult because he has other priorities. His focus has to be on his Colombia on teammates and on the focus of making sure that his team win the game. So the fact that he is away, they then play Argentina next Tuesday. There's a lot going on. But ultimately, it's looking like this is going to happen. And it's a massive statement from Liverpool, this.
Yeah, I think so. And it's not... A lot of people have said, OK, but look, Sadio Mane now, does that mean he's on his way out? And I was like, no, it doesn't. Wouldn't be the case at Man City. Liverpool need depth. They need good squad depth as well. Look, potentially, it could be the end of Sadio Mane in a couple of years' time. But for now, Liverpool need Jota, Firmino, Salah, Mane and a Luis Diaz. We need to have a lot going forward. Because I think creativity-wise, we've struggled. And this Luis Diaz, when you watch, I know it's only the YouTube highlights, but you know what they're like. They put them little 2-minute clips together. He looks like someone that can beat man on either side. Bit of pace to him as well. As you mentioned, can score a goal. Perfect player for Liverpool.
Yeah, perfect player. And also, I think the fact that everybody sniffing around him, there's strong interest from Premier League clubs.
Yeah.
Like, there was a time last summer, I remember when Everton were trying to do a bit of negotiation. Remember when they were trying to swap James Rodriguez? They were trying to involve Rodriguez.
Ah, okay.
They were trying to do that in order to bring him to the Premier League then.
Yeah.
Obviously, Antonio Conte is desperate to sign him. So when you've got lots of different Premier League clubs all looking at you, you've clearly got what it takes. We've seen him play against Premier League opposition. He's looked very good. In the 2 games against Liverpool, he played very well. Scored the blinder against Man City.
Frightening goal.
Yeah. I mean, I think you've described it perfectly. It was a frightening goal. And it seems like he wants to play for Liverpool, which maybe this is just me being slightly romantic about football, but that means something to me if I were a Liverpool fan.
Yeah.
He's choosing to not sign for Tottenham. He wants to play for Liverpool. He's into the project that is being built at Liverpool.
I wonder if the number of South American players there as well helps that. Obviously, there is that South American contingent now. We think Firmino and Alisson there, Fabinho's there as well. You must think, I wonder if that helps as well, knowing that you're going to go into a place where, English is not going to be his first language, but it's going to be okay because you've got
the South American contingent.
Yes.
Yeah, it's got to be relevant.
Yeah.
It's got to be in his thinking. I think there's another benefit that Liverpool have is that Liverpool still owed money from Porto. Do you remember the signing of that Marko Grujic?
Wow.
Yeah, Liverpool still owed about 10 million quid from that deal.
Okay.
By Porto. Porto owe them 10 million quid.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's a little sweet.
It helps, doesn't it? It just feels like the stars are aligning. And the only thing that makes it slightly complex, I suppose, is partly the fact that he is preoccupied. He's in South America. But equally, it's not that Liverpool don't need him, because I think Liverpool do need some reinforcements up front. But you can't have too many players. And I feel like Liverpool, when Sadio Mane's back, Mohamed Salah's back, Diogo Jota's there, Roberto Firmino's there, Taki Minamino's there. Transfer policy and recruitment policy is often overlooked, or a part of it that is often overlooked, is the revolving door. Shipping people out, moving people on, keeping...
It's as important as bringing players in. And I think, look, we've heard a lot in the last couple of days about Minamino to Leeds.
I saw Monaco.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be shocked if Liverpool don't get in Luis Diaz, again, we're only talking a couple of days left for this window. If that doesn't mean a Minamino goes out, whether it be on loan for now or even a Divock Origi, I just think they needed another body up front before they can get rid of players that as much as I love Lord Origi, it's not good enough for Liverpool.
No, I'd agree with that, but you can't have too many. You can't have too many. So you have to get rid of somebody. I mean, and Minamino to Leeds makes sense. I think Bielsa
keep them in the Premier League.
keep them in the Premier League. But in terms of this signing, massive for Liverpool. I think it's really important for Liverpool to make this happen, and it's looking like it will.
Yeah.
But what does this mean for Tottenham?
That's the big question. Again, this is Spurs missing out on another player. We say another because it looked like Adama Traore was pretty much done. It was a done deal. Then Barcelona was like, 1 second, we're going to flex our muscle here. And that was it. And you feel like Liverpool have done this with Luis Diaz as well now. Like, okay, look, 1 second, we want you. And that's it. And for Antonio Conte, look, and I remember we spoke about this a lot of times, but you've always said that for him to go to Tottenham, Daniel Levy must have promised him some sort of war chest. He's not going to go and take that job regardless of the money. He's not like the Wolves aren't at his door, as you say. And nothing. Not one deal.
I truly believe that, though. I truly believe that when Antonio Conte had the conversation and discussed his hugely generous wages, it makes a mockery of paying somebody that much money but not providing them with the tools that they need in order to do their job. You've got one of the best managers in the world, but obviously for him to be a top-class manager and show you how good he can be and win the silverware that generally comes with Antonio Conte, you need to provide him with the utensils. So it makes a mockery of paying him all that money and bringing him in if you're then going to say, you need to make a champion out of Eric Dyer and Harry Winks, because it's impossible. There's nothing to do with Antonio Conte. It's impossible. So I feel like he would have been provided with the guarantee of funds, but it's getting a little bit embarrassing for Tottenham now.
You know, you mentioned about the revolving door. Do you think he's been told you have to get rid of X, Y, and Z before you can bring in anything?
I just don't know, because we're edging towards a hat-trick of embarrassments for Tottenham, because apparently, Franck Kessie at AC.
Yeah.
Apparently he's opted out of it as well. Apparently
Really?
he doesn't
He's decided no.
He's decided no. He's decided that Tottenham isn't the option for him, and obviously, he can do what he wants, but I think he's decided that the free transfer to Tottenham isn't in his best interest, and he'll stay at AC or go to Inter, apparently.
Quick one, last one on this Liverpool thing. Again, people started to tweet online and say things like, okay, that's the end of Sadio Mane. Me and you have spoken about the fact that he has fallen off. I've always said, he's still scoring goals. I've said he's got 10, 11 this season. This is big pressure on him now, isn't it, though? Because Jota's delivering through the middle. Salah, we know, is delivering out on the right. Mane's been the question mark on the left, like he's not that guy anymore. Is this someone coming in, almost like Jota did with Firmino, to take his spot?
No.
No? Okay.
No. I think that we often do this. We're a little bit too reactionary.
Yeah.
It's Sadio Mane's place.
Yeah.
Like the new dude arriving, don't get me wrong, he maybe lights a fire under Mane, but he's coming in for £37.5 million. Sadio Mane needs to be displaced. There's a lot of respect and a lot of admiration that I have for Sadio Mane. It isn't as simple as Luis Diaz comes in, Luis Diaz starts. No. You earn it. And it's going to take an awful lot to take Mane out of that team. Think of the credit in the bank from Sadio Mane.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And by the way, no one ever comes into Klopp's teams unless it's Virgil van Dijk, even Alisson to an extent, and starts. You have to work your way into the starting 11. Fabinho did it, Robertson did
it. You can play on either side. It's not necessarily as well as... See how you flag it, Sadio Mane's the conversation here. This is the brilliance of Diaz. He's happy on either side.
Yeah.
So it could be... It's not.
Replacement for Salah. Is Salah's contract not up?
It's not as simple as it being Mane's problem, though, I don't think.